Okay, greetings from Camp MJC. I hear we're now discussing Parashat Rabbi. I hope you've been having a great summer so far. I want to discuss with you one of the most commonly known mitzvahs in the Torah, and that is the Isser of Achilas Dam. In our Parsha this week, it says in Perek Yud Bet, Pasuk Chav Gimel, Rak Chazak Levilti Achol Adam, Ki Adam Hu Nefesh, V'lo Tochal Nefesh Ima Basar. The ones would be very, very strong to hold themselves back from eating blood, because the blood is the soul of the animal. And we should not eat it, or rather we should dispel it on the ground. So Rashi tells us over here, what does it mean, Rak Chazak Levilti Achol Adam? All the Mefarshim ask, what does it mean that one has to be strong to prevent themselves from eating blood? It seems to imply that there was a tremendous impulse to eat blood, and I don't know about you, but for me, blood doesn't really do it for me. I never felt that kind of impulse, and I don't really know anybody who does, except for maybe a few vampires, but I'm not friends with them anymore. So Rashi says, Mimash shenemar Chazak, atalamed shayushtufim bedam, lechol. So in other words, the fact that it says chazak, it seems that the people were really ensconced in the idea of eating blood. Therefore the Torah had to use the word chazak, divrei Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Shimon ben Azai Omer, Rabbi Shimon ben Azai says, no, lo ba'kosav el hazircho lamedcha ad kama ata tzarich litchazek b'mitzvot. It comes to tell us how a person should be so careful in terms of their mitzvos. If blood, which is so easy to be restricted from, because most of us don't like it anyways, because a person doesn't normally like it. Nevertheless, the Torah has to go ahead and strengthen us to go ahead and resist it. How much more so for other mitzvahs, the things that we really want to do, like a cheeseburger or whatever it is that would be unkosher you'd like to have. So if a person has to restrict themselves with strength from something which is really, really not so desirable, then kal v'chomer from things that are. Well, what does it mean to things that are? Why do I have to restrict myself from something which I don't want to do? I'm just not going to do it. So some want to say that once the Torah tells me I can't have something, all of a sudden I really, really want it. That's called mayim genufim yim takud. That stolen waters are the sweetest. So for example, if you're ever babysitting in someone's house and they said, trust me, you can do whatever you want to do, you can have whatever you want to have from the fridge, just don't go into that room. I remember as a kid, that's the only room I really wanted to go into once I was told that. But Rav Hirsch gives us an even better shot. I think Rav Hirsch explains that when it comes to blood, there's a specific issue going on. What does it mean, ki adam hu nefesh? The blood represents the soul of the animal. Rav Hirsch has a theme that a person has to remember that because he's a human, he has to be distinguished from the animal community. We may be able to eat animals, consume animals, but we should never become animalistic. We have much in common with the animal kingdom. We respirate, our blood circulates, and we have many things in common with the animal physically, but we can't become animalistic. When a person takes in, let's say, a piece of an animal, when you eat the leg, the thigh, the breast of an animal, it is that one specific piece of the animal. When one ingests the blood, however, the blood represents the essence of the animal, because the blood courses throughout the entire body of the animal every couple of minutes. And therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, there's one thing I want you to stay away from. Stay away from the essence, the mahut of the animal, ki adam hu nefesh, because the blood is everywhere in the animal. When you separate from that, you'll remember, although you may take in an animal, you can never become an animal. You have to remember that you're a human and act like a human with kindness to all those around you all the time. Have a great rest of the summer.